What if I told you that money doesn't trickle into your life slowly, but crashes down like a thunderbolt the moment you speak the right words? But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the world. Most people spend their entire lives chasing wealth, repeating affirmations until their voices grow hoarse, desperately hoping the universe will finally notice their pleas. Has this ever happened to you? You've tried every manifestation technique, every visualization method, every positive thinking strategy, yet money seems to slip through your fingers like sand. You watch others effortlessly attract abundance while you remain stuck in the same financial patterns, wondering what secret ingredient you're missing. Here's what the prosperity teachers won't tell you. Wealth doesn't respond to begging. It doesn't care how many times you repeat, "I am rich," in front of your bathroom mirror. Money operates according to a completely different law, one that's been hidden in plain sight, disguised as simple physics, yet containing the most profound spiritual truth about abundance. Think about gravity for a moment. When you drop an apple, does it hesitate? Does it drift downward slowly, contemplating whether it should fall? Absolutely not. The moment you release it, natural law takes over, and that apple plummets to the ground with absolute certainty. What you're about to discover might surprise you, but money follows the exact same principle. Florence Scovel Shinn understood this secret decades ago when she revealed that we are already what we wish to become. But most people completely misunderstand her teaching. They think it means pretending until reality catches up, when actually she was pointing to something far more powerful, the instant collapse of time and space that occurs when you speak with true authority. Stay with me until the end, because what I'm about to share will shatter everything you think you know about attracting wealth. This isn't another feel-good theory or wishy-washy spiritual concept. This is about understanding the raw, natural law that governs financial abundance. The same force that moves planets, creates tides, and makes sound echo across canyons. You see, every word you've ever spoken has been a command to the universe, whether you realized it or not. When you said, "Money slips through my fingers," reality obeyed instantly. When you muttered, "I never get lucky," opportunities vanished. You didn't need to repeat these statements for weeks. You issued them once, and like gravity responding to a falling object, your circumstances rearranged themselves accordingly. The terrifying truth is that you've already proven this law works. You've been using it your entire life, but you've been calling the wrong things into existence. However, if your careless words had the power to create lack, imagine what your deliberate words can create when spoken with absolute certainty. What you're about to learn is the exact call that makes money fall toward you like gravity itself. Not slowly, not gradually, but with the unstoppable force of natural law. If you're ready to dive deeper into these universal principles that most people never discover, join our community by subscribing. There's so much more to explore together, and I want to share these insights with people who are truly ready for this level of understanding. The transformation happens in a single moment, with a single phrase that cuts through decades of financial struggle like lightning splitting the night sky. This isn't about attracting money through endless repetition or wishful thinking. This is about issuing a command that reality cannot ignore. Picture this. You're holding a heavy stone above your head. The moment you release it, can you stop it midair? Can you negotiate with gravity, asking it politely to slow down? The fall? Of course not. Natural law takes over instantly, and that stone crashes to the ground with absolute certainty. Your financial breakthrough follows the exact same principle. Here's the hidden truth behind every major financial transformation you've ever witnessed. Those people who seem to effortlessly manifest wealth aren't doing anything mystical or complicated. They've simply learned to speak the language that money understands, the language of authority, not desperation. Most people approach abundance like they're placing an order at a cosmic restaurant, hoping their request will eventually be fulfilled if they're patient enough. But money doesn't respond to politeness or patience. It responds to law. And when you understand this law, your entire relationship with wealth shifts in ways that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about prosperity. The apple doesn't hesitate before falling. The tide doesn't second-guess itself before returning to shore. Sound doesn't debate whether to echo across a canyon. These forces operate according to immutable principles that have governed our universe since the beginning of time. Your voice, when wielded with true understanding, becomes part of this same natural order. What I'm about to reveal will challenge every prosperity teaching you've ever encountered. This isn't about visualization techniques or gratitude journals, though those have their place. This is about recognizing that every word you speak carries the weight of creation itself. When Florence Scovel Shinn taught about the power of the spoken word, she wasn't sharing metaphors. She was revealing scientific truth disguised as spiritual wisdom. Think about your own life for a moment. How many times have you casually said something negative about money, only to watch that exact scenario play out in your reality? You weren't performing a ritual or casting a spell. You simply spoke with conviction, and the universe rearranged itself to match your words. This is proof that the law already works. You've just been using it unconsciously. The revelation that changes everything is understanding that this same power, this same instant response from reality, is available for creating wealth. But it requires a specific approach, a precise way of speaking that transforms your voice from a mere request into an irresistible command. Now, I want to go even deeper into this hidden mechanism that governs financial abundance. The exact words that trigger this unstoppable force have remained secret for too long, hidden behind complex spiritual teachings when the truth is elegantly simple. When you speak with genuine authority, not hoping, not wishing, but declaring, money moves toward you with the same inevitability as water flowing downhill. Write in the comments, "I understand the law," if this revelation is resonating with something deep inside you, something that's been waiting for this moment of clarity. The most profound. Revelations often hide behind the simplest statements, and Florence Scovel Shinn's teaching about already being what you want to become is no exception. When she spoke these words, she wasn't offering comfort to struggling dreamers. She was revealing a fundamental principle about how reality responds to human consciousness. Most people completely misinterpret this wisdom. They think it means playing pretend, acting as if they're wealthy while secretly knowing they're not. But this misunderstanding keeps them trapped in an endless cycle of fake-it-till-you-make-it energy that the universe sees right through. The real transformation happens when you realize that declaring with absolute certainty doesn't create wealth. It reveals wealth that was always there, waiting for your recognition. Think about this carefully. You've already proven beyond any doubt that your words reshape reality instantly. Remember the last time you said something negative about your financial situation? Perhaps you muttered, "I never get opportunities," during a moment of frustration. What happened next? Opportunities didn't just become scarce, they completely vanished from your awareness, as if the universe suddenly forgot your address. Or maybe you've caught yourself saying, "Money slips through my fingers after an unexpected expense." Did you need to repeat this phrase daily for months before it manifested? Of course not. You spoke it once, with conviction born from emotional intensity, and reality obeyed like a dutiful servant. This is the smoking gun evidence that your voice carries creative power whether you believe it or not. The journey of understanding this law is both humbling and empowering. It's humbling because you realize how much of your current financial situation is the direct result of unconscious declarations you've made over the years. Every casual complaint, every offhand remark about money troubles, every moment you spoke from limitation then abundance has been faithfully reflected back to you by a universe that doesn't judge your words. It simply fulfills them. Yet this same realization becomes incredibly empowering when you understand the flip side. If your unconscious, careless words had enough authority to create financial challenges, imagine the impact your conscious, deliberate declarations can have when spoken with unwavering certainty. This is where the real transformation begins, not in changing your circumstances, but in changing your relationship with the power you've always possessed. The hidden truth that changes everything is recognizing that you've never been powerless. You've never been at the mercy of external forces or economic conditions. You've been the creator of your experience all along, issuing commands through your speech that the universe has been faithfully executing. The only difference between lack and abundance is the content of those commands. When you grasp this concept fully, something shifts in your entire being. You stop seeing yourself as someone who hopes for financial breakthrough and start recognizing yourself as someone whose words carry the weight of natural law. Your voice becomes the bridge between invisible potential and visible manifestation, between the realm of possibility and the world of form. Now, I want to go even deeper into the mechanics of how this instant transformation occurs, because understanding the precise moment when declaration becomes reality will change how you speak forever. There's a specific quality to the voice that makes money respond immediately, a particular frequency that cuts through all resistance and doubt. Write in the comments, "My words create my reality," if you're beginning to see the incredible power you've been wielding unconsciously all this time. This revelation carries both liberation and responsibility that most people aren't prepared to handle. The terrifying part that keeps successful manifestors awake at night is the realization that every financial struggle, every missed opportunity, every moment of lack has been the direct result of their own unconscious declarations. You've been the architect of your financial reality all along, designing limitation through careless words, spoken in moments of frustration or fear. But here's where the journey becomes extraordinary rather than overwhelming. If those unconscious emotional outbursts had enough creative power to manifest financial challenges in your life, then your conscious, deliberate words carry infinitely more potential for creating wealth. The same mechanism that created lack becomes your gateway to abundance the moment you understand how to wield it intentionally. Consider the profound implications of this discovery. You're not broken, unlucky, or cursed with bad timing. You're not missing some secret ingredient that wealthy people possess. You've simply been using your creative power in reverse, calling forth the very circumstances you wanted to avoid. This shift in perspective changes everything because it means financial transformation isn't about learning something new. It's about redirecting something you've always known how to do. Think about a massive bell tower standing silent in the center of a city. For hours, maybe days, there's complete quiet. People walk by without even noticing it's there. But the moment someone strikes that bell with intention, the sound doesn't just ring, it explodes across the entire landscape. The vibration travels through buildings, penetrates walls, reaches every corner of the city with unstoppable force. Your voice carries the same explosive potential when it comes to financial manifestation. Most people treat their words like whispers, hoping someone might hear. But when you understand the true power behind your declarations, your voice becomes that bell strike, one clear, resonant command that reverberates through the fabric of reality itself. Here's the crucial distinction that separates true manifestors from chronic strugglers. It's not about constant noise or endless repetition. The bell doesn't need to ring continuously to be heard. One powerful strike creates an echo that travels farther than 1,000 weak taps. Your financial command works the same way. One declaration spoken with absolute authority creates ripples that continue working long after the words have left your lips. The beauty of this discovery lies in its irreversible nature. Once you strike that bell, once you issue that command with genuine conviction, you cannot call the sound back. The vibration has already begun its journey through reality, gathering momentum, attracting circumstances, aligning opportunities, and compelling money to respond. This is why desperate repetition actually weakens your manifestation. It suggests you don't trust the first strike was powerful enough. Now, I want to go even deeper into the mechanics of what happens in that precise moment when your voice transforms from human speech into universal law. There's a specific frequency, a particular quality of certainty that makes the difference between words that bounce off reality and words that penetrate it completely. Write in the comments, "I feel the power." If you can sense this energy building inside you as we uncover these hidden truths about manifestation, the difference between desperate repetition and true authority reveals itself in the most unexpected way, through silence. Watch someone who truly understands this law speak their financial command. They don't shout, they don't plead, they don't repeat themselves frantically. They speak once, then they stop. Not because they're unsure, but because they know that real power doesn't need to prove itself through volume or frequency. This discovery completely revolutionizes how you approach manifestation. Most people exhaust themselves repeating affirmations 50, 100, even 1,000 times, believing that quantity somehow equals power. But this approach actually broadcasts desperation to the universe. It says, I don't believe this will work, so I better keep saying it until something happens. The energy behind desperate repetition cancels out the very authority you're trying to establish. True power operates like a perfectly tuned musical note that continues resonating long after it's been struck. When a skilled musician plays a single note on a quality instrument, that sound doesn't disappear immediately. It hangs in the air, vibrating, creating harmonies, filling the entire space with its presence. Your financial command works identically. One perfectly delivered declaration creates a vibration that echoes through reality until everything rearranges to match its frequency. The mindset shift required here challenges everything our achievement-oriented culture teaches us. We've been conditioned to believe that more effort equals better results, that persistence means constant action. But in the realm of conscious creation, this approach backfires spectacularly. The universe interprets your desperate repetition as evidence that you don't actually believe your own words. When you finally speak the command with genuine authority, something extraordinary happens in your body. It's not a feeling of hope or wishful thinking. It's the unmistakable sensation of inevitability. Your nervous system recognizes that you've just initiated a process as unstoppable as gravity itself. There's a settling that occurs, a deep knowing that what you've set in motion cannot be reversed or canceled. This feeling is your internal confirmation system, your body's way of telling you that you've crossed from fantasy into law. Many people miss this crucial feedback because they're so busy trying to force results that they ignore the profound shift happening within them. But when you truly command money to appear, your cells know it before your mind does. The journey from desperate hoping to authoritative knowing transforms your entire energetic signature. People sense this shift before you even speak about money. There's something different in how you carry yourself, how you make decisions, how you navigate financial choices. You stop asking permission from circumstances and start issuing instructions to reality itself. Behind the scenes of every major financial breakthrough lies this same pattern. A moment when someone stopped begging and started commanding. Not with arrogance or force, but with the quiet certainty that comes from understanding universal law. They recognize that money doesn't hide from authority. It rushes toward it, like iron filings drawn to a magnet. This transformation in your relationship with wealth impacts every area of your life. Your career decisions become bolder. Your investment choices reflect confidence rather than fear. Your spending patterns shift from scarcity-based restriction to abundance-based wisdom. Even your conversations about money change, carrying an undertone of certainty that others find mysteriously attractive. Now, I want to explore the exact one moment you're someone hoping for financial breakthrough. The next, you're someone who naturally expects wealth to flow toward you. The shift occurs so fundamentally that your entire energetic signature changes at the cellular level. This transformation becomes most apparent when you walk into any room, attend any gathering, or engage in any social interaction. Most people carry an invisible energy that whispers, "I hope I belong here," or "I hope someone notices me," or "I hope I get chosen." Their uncertainty radiates from their posture, their voice, their very presence in space. But when you embody the truth that money appears when you call, something entirely different happens. Before you speak a single word, before you introduce yourself, before you even make eye contact, people sense something different about you. There's an authority in your presence that has nothing to do with arrogance and everything to do with alignment with natural law. Behind the scenes of every interaction, invisible forces begin rearranging themselves in your favor. Opportunities that might have passed by other people somehow find their way to you. Conversations that could have remained surface level naturally deepen into meaningful connections. Resources that seemed unavailable suddenly become accessible through pathways you never expected. This magnetic effect occurs because you're no longer operating from need or desperation. Your energy field no longer broadcasts lack or limitation. Instead, you radiate the calm certainty of someone who knows they're supported by cosmic forces, and money responds to this frequency like metal drawn to magnetism. The decisions you make from this new identity reflect abundance rather than scarcity at every level. Your career choices become bolder. Your investment decisions flow from confidence rather than fear. Your spending patterns shift from restriction to wisdom. Even your body language changes, carrying the unmistakable signature of someone who expects wealth rather than hopes for it. Now, I want to explore the specific ways you can test and strengthen this new identity, because there are practical methods for anchoring this transformation so deeply that it becomes unshakable regardless of external circumstances. Write in the comments, "The old me is gone," if you can feel this profound identity shift dissolving everything that kept you separated from your natural abundance. The real test of this transformation doesn't happen through desperate repetition or forced affirmations. It occurs through the radical act of living, as if the truth you've discovered is already your reality. Every step you take becomes an opportunity to embody this knowing. When you walk through your day, imagine wealth flowing toward you with the same certainty as rivers flowing toward the ocean. Feel it gathering momentum with each footfall, drawn by the magnetic authority you now carry. Your conversations shift when you speak from this place of knowing. Each word you utter becomes a canyon wall that echoes your command back to you amplified. Whether you're discussing plans with friends, negotiating a business deal, or simply ordering coffee, your voice carries an undertone that reality recognizes and responds to. The echo effect you've activated continues working long after your words fade into silence. Even your thinking patterns undergo this transformation. Instead of mental conversations filled with worry and limitation, your thoughts become conscious acts of attraction. Every time you consider your future, imagine your voice reaching across dimensions, pulling resources, opportunities, and wealth toward you with the same inevitability as gravity drawing objects earthward. The moment has arrived for your final conscious declaration, the one that seals this new identity permanently into your being. Say it now with every fiber of conviction you possess. Money appears when I call, not as a distant possibility or future hope, but as present reality, as immediate law, as unshakable truth that governs your existence from this moment forward. Let this declaration inform every decision you make, every opportunity you evaluate, every financial choice you encounter. Your relationship with money has fundamentally changed because you now understand that wealth isn't playing hide and seek with you. It isn't testing your worthiness or measuring your patience. Money has been waiting, like a loyal servant, for the moment when you would finally recognize and exercise the authority you've always possessed. The transformation in your life begins immediately, not because you've learned something new, but because you've remembered something ancient. The creative power of conscious speech aligned with universal principle. Your voice has become an instrument through which cosmic forces express themselves in the realm of material abundance. Now, I want to explore what happens when you begin living from this level of financial authority day after day, because there are specific changes that occur in your decision-making, your relationships, and your entire life trajectory when money truly becomes responsive to your call. Write in the comments, "Money appears when I call," if you're ready to seal this truth into your consciousness and begin living from unshakable financial authority. What you've experienced isn't merely the adoption of new language, it's the emergence of an entirely different self. "Money appears when I call" has moved beyond being words you speak and transformed into the fundamental frequency from which you operate. Like a tuning fork that continues, vibrating long after being struck, this truth resonates through every fiber of your being, creating a harmonic that money cannot ignore. The boundary between your old identity and this new reality has been permanently erased. You can feel it happening even now. The dissolution of someone who once believed wealth required struggle, who thought abundance was scarce, who accepted limitation as normal. That version of yourself cannot survive in the presence of this knowing. It's not a gradual fade, but an immediate transformation, like ice melting the moment it encounters fire. Your entire relationship with existence shifts when you embody this truth. The old self, who lived like a supplicant, constantly asking permission from circumstances, begging opportunities to notice them, hoping luck would finally smile in their direction, that person has been replaced by someone who understands they are the law. You don't petition cosmic forces, you direct them. You don't request abundance, you command it. The transformation becomes most apparent in the quality of your daily decisions. Where you once might have hesitated before making financial choices, now you move with the fluid certainty of natural forces. Like the tide that doesn't question its right to rise, that doesn't doubt its power to reshape coastlines, that doesn't apologize for its inevitable return. This is your energy now. Behind the scenes of your consciousness, profound rewiring occurs as this new identity takes root. Your nervous system releases decades of financial anxiety because it recognizes you're no longer at the mercy of external circumstances. Your decision-making process flows from abundance rather than scarcity. Your conversations carry authority rather than desperation. Your very presence communicates wealth before you speak a single word. The journey from beggar consciousness to law consciousness happens not through effort, but through recognition. You're not trying to become someone new. You're remembering who you've always been beneath layers of conditioning and limitation. The power was never absent. It was simply unrecognized, waiting for this moment of awakening. This shift impacts every area of your life because money is never just about money. It's about your relationship with power, with worthiness, with your place in the cosmic order. When you command wealth, you're exercising the same authority that moves galaxies and governs natural phenomena. Now I want to reveal how this transformation expresses itself in your future reality, because there are specific changes that occur in your career, relationships, and life trajectory when you consistently operate from this level of financial mastery. Write in the comments, "I am the law," if you can feel this profound identity shift anchoring itself permanently into your consciousness. Florence Scovel Shinn understood a principle that most people spend lifetimes never grasping, that changing your internal conception of yourself doesn't gradually influence your external world. It immediately restructures it. The moment you stop seeing yourself as someone who hopes for financial change and recognize yourself as the very force that creates change, reality has no choice but to mirror this new understanding back to you. This isn't wishful thinking or positive psychology. This is the recognition that you've never been separate from the creative forces that shape your experience. You are the change, the law, the conscious voice that directs how universal principles express themselves through your life. The transformation you've undergone represents a fundamental shift in your relationship with existence itself. When you carry this knowing into your daily life, everything begins reorganizing around your new energetic signature. Your career trajectory shifts because you make decisions from authority rather than desperation. Your relationships change because you interact with others from abundance rather than need. Your financial choices reflect stewardship rather than scarcity. Behind every decision lies the unshakable foundation of someone who knows money appears when they call. Picture yourself 6 months from now living consistently from this identity. The cramped apartment has given way to a space that reflects your expanded understanding of what you deserve. Your calendar no longer controls your life because you've created the freedom to choose how you spend your time. Your bank account finally mirrors the authority you've claimed rather than the limitations you once accepted. But the most profound change isn't external. It's the ease you see reflected in your own face each morning. There's no more tension around your eyes from constantly calculating whether you can afford something. There's no more tightness in your jaw from gritting your teeth through financial stress. Instead, there's the calm certainty of someone who knows each day unfolds in alignment with their conscious direction. This isn't fantasy or visualization. It's inevitability. The same cosmic forces that ensure sunrise each morning, that maintain planetary orbits, that govern every natural phenomenon are now responding to your conscious command. Your future isn't dependent on external circumstances, economic conditions, or lucky breaks. It flows directly from the identity you've claimed and the authority you've recognized. The transformation reaches its final stage when you stop performing this truth and start being it. There's no more conscious effort to remember your authority because it radiates from every cell of your being. Walking through a grocery store, attending a business meeting, having coffee with friends. Each moment carries the invisible undercurrent of money appears when I call. Not as something you're trying to convince yourself of, but as the fundamental frequency that defines who you are. This embodiment creates an automatic magnetism that operates beyond your conscious awareness. People sense something different about your energy before you mention money or business. Opportunities seem to find you rather than requiring your pursuit. Resources align themselves in your path without desperate networking or frantic searching. The echo of your original command has multiplied into a constant vibration that reality cannot ignore. Behind the scenes of every interaction, invisible forces rearrange themselves in response to your energetic signature. The barista mentions a side business opportunity. The person next to you on the airplane turns out to be exactly the connection you needed. The email that arrives contains precisely the information required to move your next project forward. These aren't coincidences. They're the automatic result of living from authority rather than need. Your decision-making process becomes effortless because you're no longer calculating from limitation. Investment choices flow from abundance consciousness. Career moves reflect confidence rather than desperation. Even your smallest purchases carry the energy of someone who expects wealth rather than fears its absence. Money moves toward this frequency like metal drawn to magnetism. The moment has arrived for the final sealing of this transformation. Speak these words now with every fiber of certainty you possess. Money appears when I call. Let them settle into your chest, your bones, your very DNA. Breathe this truth into your lungs and circulate it through your bloodstream. This isn't entertainment you're consuming or theory you're considering. This is cosmic law you're claiming as your own. Own these words completely. Carry them into every conversation, every opportunity, every financial decision for the rest of your life. The universe operates according to principles that existed before you were born and will continue after you're gone. You haven't created this law. You've simply recognized it and aligned yourself with forces that have been waiting for your conscious participation. You've made it to the end, and that tells me something important about you. You're not someone who settles for surface-level answers. You stayed through this entire journey because something deeper was calling to you, something that recognized the truth in these words, even when your logical mind might have questioned it. The transformation that's happening within you right now isn't accidental. You were meant to discover this understanding at this exact moment in your life. The financial authority you've claimed through these words will continue working long after you've finished watching this video, echoing through your reality with increasing power. If this resonated with something deep inside you, if you felt that shift we talked about, I'd love to have you join our community here. Subscribe to the channel, because this is just the beginning of what we explore together. There are layers upon layers of these universal principles that most people never discover, and I want to share them with you. And if you made it all the way to the end, leave a comment saying, "This message was meant for me." I read every single comment, and there's something powerful about declaring your readiness for this level of transformation. Your words have creative power, remember? If you felt that connection we built together throughout this video, that moment when everything clicked into place, hit the like button. It helps more people find these truths when they're ready for them. And honestly, it tells me you're serious about this journey we're taking together. There's a video right here that goes even deeper into how this law operates in your daily life, showing you specific ways to strengthen this new identity until it becomes unshakable. Click and continue with me over there, because the transformation you've started today is just